Good morning, welcome to Hecate's Crossing. Welcome if it's your first time here, welcome back if you're following the series. If not, don't forget to check out episode 1 of this Who Were You series that I'm doing. Now before we get into it, what I want to do is just to give you a little bit of a breath. Just take a moment, take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, just really slow. Just in through your nose, out through your mouth, just real slow, and get yourself sorted and calm. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pull from my new decks that I created from my own photography and artwork that I made. So first one we're going to work with is this one here, which is my photography oracle. Okay, so let's just take a moment, take a breath. And what message do we have to have today that will allow us to move ahead? What message do we receive today? Okay, let's see. Message today is about the dusk. So we're leaving behind some of the lightness and we're moving into the dark. Now what does that mean for you personally? Take a moment, take a breath and absorb that moment. Just want you to think about the dusk. What does the dusk mean to you? Next, we're going to look at my artwork. Now these don't have any words, they're just images. So again, what message is important to us for today, especially in regards to our own healing? Okay, the card today is this one here. And this one to me says we're being watched over, we're being supported, we're being guided, whether that's from those that are in spirit, whether that is of those that are around us in this physical world, means that we are supported at this time. So for me, this message is, as we're moving into the darkness and we allow ourselves to be in silence and meditation, maybe sit with what we're feeling at this time, know that we are supported and guided as we move through the journey. Okay, this last deck here is my playing card set with the words on it, but it's also my artwork. So this one here, I draw 3 cards that are going to allow us to help with our healing process at this time as we discover who we were. Okay, the first one is the 6 of Diamonds, which is about checking details and avoid commitments. So for us, it's not about just about avoiding, this is about like contracts, your physical aspects of your life. So there may be some contracts and things coming up, or some paperwork, some stuff that you need to sign. Please make sure you check all the details, because I feel like there's things going to be hidden behind that. This is also about, for me, this one here is about communicating clearly, but also to make sure that you're not overextending your heart, you're not opening yourself up too much to things and not letting your mind rule. This might be a time to let your mind actually take control of the situation. Don't let your heart take over, because I think sometimes our heart can, in this case, especially with the paperwork and the details and things that you need. Okay, card number 2 is about success. So this one here is about, once you've checked all the paperwork, checked all the details, allowed yourself to feel you're in balance within oneself, you will have success in where you want to be. So that's really important for you to know. And card number 3 talks about harmony in friendships and good news away. Now, I don't know if the situation is in regards to friendships, in regards to the paperwork and things that need to be signed. I feel it's feeling like once you've got your paperwork, you've checked all your details, you've brought in your success, it's going to bring good news to the situation. So keeping it in context in regards to this card here, which to me was very much about contracts, about legality, things that are really, really important to you at this time. You will be successful in it, but it's very important that you check all the details first, and it will bring good news to the situation in whole. So this is your six of hearts, 10 of diamonds, and six of diamonds, 10 of diamonds, and 6 of hearts. So this to me is definitely about harmony and balance, also making sure that you feel safe in the situation, which is also very, very important, that you feel safe as you're given the opportunities that you need in your life. Know that you're being supported and guided in areas around your life, not necessarily by spirit, but in areas of your life, as you move into what appears to be leaving behind the light, moving into sort of a darkness area at this time. You might be feeling into a moment of meditation, reflection. Maybe you're moving into the unknown, which can be a feeling of, as you're leaving behind the light and you're moving into the darkness, you're feeling like you're actually leaving behind what you actually know and moving into the unknown. So that's the cards for today to think about, to reflect on, as we move into the book Who You Were. So let me bring this up so that you can see my face, if you like, and see the cards, see the book as I'm reading through. So you've seen those cards there and what's actually going on. So let's bring this up to here. Let me stand and move this slightly up so that you can see me. Hopefully this will work as we move through. Right. Okay, so who were you? We've been reading every week a little bit, and we're still on chapter 1. I have scanned the information, which I will put on the video, and you can stop and read it through. But what I want to do is, last week we talked about the 3 dimensions of thought, and we talked about the question, do I think there is internal life? Answer 1, yes. Answer 2, no. Answer 3, I'll keep an open mind and do some creative thinking, just supposing. And I sort of quickly showed a little bit about what do you think. Below is a summary of various shades in each of the 3 dimensions of thought presented. Check the ideas you think you agree with instinctively, regardless of whether or not you understand them or think they might be true. Check as many as you like, even if some of your choices contradict each other. Total the number of checks in each of the 3 columns, and then we will turn the page to discover what your results say about you. If you belong to a religion that relates to some concept other than God, please insert the correct name as appropriate. Okay, so I will do I might actually add this image to my blog, which I'll put the link below, so that you can actually copy and save it if you want to, or could have actually saved it as a PDF, which you could have downloaded. Should have thought of it. I can still do that. If you'd like me to add it as a PDF, please let me know down below. It won't take me a minute to do it, so I can do that. If you wanted to print it out, you're more than welcome to. Other than that, I'll just read through. Okay, the first one we have is spiritual ideas. So we're looking at this one here to begin with, the circles. You can see the 2 circles. Spiritual ideas. Okay, who were you? Okay, now what you want to do is just sit for a minute, take a deep breath, in through your nose and out through your mouth. If you've got a bit of paper and a pen, stop the video for a second, grab a paper and a pen, because maybe you can just tick it quickly now if you want to. You're more than welcome to. Otherwise, wait till the end and print out a copy from my blog. Okay, let's start with who were you? Okay, the first lot is my soul will outlive my body and go on developing. This is, okay, that's number one. Number two, this is the first and only incarnation of my soul. My soul has been reincarnated many times. So who were you? A, my soul will outlive my body and go on developing. B, this is the first and only incarnation of my soul. C, my soul has been reincarnated many times. Next one, before this conception, my soul came from the spiritual world. My soul was created by God. My soul was living in another body. Okay. A, my soul came from the spiritual world. B, my soul was created by God or universal deity, or whatever you feel. C, my soul was living in another body. Okay. The next bit is during this life. How I live affects my spiritual development. I am here to fulfill God's purpose. The material is less important than the spiritual. So you are A, how I live affects my spiritual development. B, I am here to fulfill God's purposes. C, the material is less important than the spiritual. The last bit, after this life. A, I shall leave this body to journey onwards. B, my soul will live on and I shall be resurrected. Or C, my soul will be reincarnated to fulfill its destiny. So which of those resonate with you? How many? Take a moment, even if you have to pause the video for a second. Take a moment before we get on to the next bit. Okay, the next bit, are you ready? Logical ideas. Section 1, who were you? A, without my body, I would have no life. B, I am a human being only as a result of evolution. And C, only my parents gave me life. Okay? Take a moment, take a breath. Who were you? A, without my body, I would have no life. B, I am a human being only as a result of evolution. And C, only my parents gave me life. Okay. Next section, before this conception. A, I did not exist at all. B, only the atoms I consist of existed before. And C, there was only a genetic gamble. So A, I did not exist at all. B, only the atoms I consist of existed before. Or C, there was only a generic gamble. Okay, take a moment, take a breath. We're ready for the next bit. During this life. A, this is the only lifetime I'll get. B, I have to achieve something with my life. And C, I have to look out for myself in this life. Okay, during this life. A, this is the only lifetime I'll get. B, I have to achieve something with my life. And C, I have to look out for myself on this life. Which resonates? One, A, B or C, either 1, 2 or 3 of them. Just up to you. Whatever resonates with you, put a tick beside. Okay, after this life. Okay, A, I shall not exist except in the memories of others. B, the atoms that were me will be recycled. And C, my children will be all that remains of me. Okay, after this life, I shall not exist except in the memories of others. B, the atoms that were me will be recycled. And C, my children will be all that remains of me. Okay, take a breath. And we're ready for the last one, creative ideas. Okay. Next bit, who were you? I contribute to the expansion of the universe. I exist because I am understood. I am part of a cosmic intelligence. Who were you? A, I contribute to the expansion of the universe. B, I exist because I am understood. And C, I am part of a cosmic intelligence. Okay. Before this conception, A, I was designing my own creation. I was not yet understood. I was undifferentiated cosmic intelligence. Undifferentiated cosmic intelligence, okay. Before this conception, I was designing my own creation, A. B, I was not yet understood. And C, I was undifferentiated, just said that. I was undifferentiated cosmic intelligence. Whew, that's a word. Okay, take a nice deep breath, and we're into during this life. Okay, during this life, A, I can enjoy many dimensions of being. B, I am free to learn, create and understand. And C, we are collectively responsible for all life. During this life, A, I can enjoy many dimensions of being. B, I am free to learn, create and understand. C, we are collectively responsible for all life. Okay, the last one, after this life. Okay, A, the future is my creation. B, the universe will be larger because of us. Or C, I will understand more than I understand now. Okay, after this life, A, the future is my creation. B, the universe will be larger because of us. And C, I will understand more than I understand now. Okay, so go back to the beginning of this bit here and go spiritual ideas and listen to what I say. Tick what resonates and add it up to the total. Logical ideas, listen to what I say. Tick how many that you resonate with and add those totals. Then you've got creative ideas. Tick what resonates, then add up those totals and compare. Spiritual ideas, how many? Logical ideas, how many? Creative ideas, how many? There's no right and wrong. It's just what you resonate with personally. That's what is of value to you as an individual. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's about what you think. So now we're looking at, okay, so we've gone through, we've looked at we've done, and you're going to write up how many spiritual ideas, how many logical ideas, and how many creative ideas. Okay, so now listen just for a second, take a deep breath. Whoops, that's really not that. All interpretations concern your thinking relative to the issues listed on the table. On other issues such as money, love, work, or priorities, your dominant thinking mode could be different, okay? This is just about your thinking relative to the issues listed on the table, okay? So other things. So now you look at your highest of the three scores. It is higher by a majority of not less than 4 points. If so, this is your dominant mode of thinking. The greater its majority, the more stronger you adhere to that mode of thinking. If there is no dominant score, and one score is lower than either of the other two by at least 4 points, This is the mode that is least typical of your thinking, but there may be conflict occurring between the other two, especially if one of them is the logical mode. If you have scored in all three modes with a difference of not more than 3 points between them, you should certainly have chosen the statement, I can enjoy many dimensions of being, since it is likely that you can accommodate all three modes of thinking. It would be quite normal to find that you have checked very contradictory statements or felt inclined to do so, since two hemispheres of our brains process information in very different ways. Okay. Spiritual ideas. This mode of thinking involves instinctual belief. It is possible to accept spiritual ideas without it. Such proof as it may exist cannot be tested and must itself be accepted. This method of processing information takes place primarily in the right hemisphere of the brain. Logical ideas. This mode of thinking involves logic, the sequential line of cause and effect. Logical thought depends upon there being some evidence of the cause from which the effect can be deduced. The method of processing information takes place primarily in the left hemisphere of the brain. Quite often, we're up to the paradox, Paradox. Quite often logical ideas become believed, and all further evidence is often used as proof of their rightness. Similarity beliefs are often subjected to a process of logic to prove their rightness. In this way we put each hemisphere of the brain at the service of the other. Thus, it is not surprising that some people feel they live in two worlds. There is nothing abnormal about this duality. Serious problems only arise when we ignore or suppress one world, one hemisphere's process, and accept the other as the only truth. Okay? Creative ideas. This mode of thinking involves integration of the different processes of the two brain hemispheres. Ideas that are neither logical nor believable tend to arise. Understanding comes much later. A sense of the ridiculous and a willingness to accept uncertainty are necessary. Humour releases the tension of conflicting ideas and is often the seed of creativity. Children have the kind of crazy humour that can protect our creative sanity. The surrealists, such as the artist Salvador Dali, had it too. Okay, let's have a look at a typical children's joke for a minute, okay? The question. Okay, let's have a look. How do you get 4 elephants in a small car? Okay, take a minute, take a breath. The reply, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Next question. How do you get 3 giraffes in a small car travelling from New York? Okay, make 3 holes in the roof. Okay, last one. How do you get 2 buffalo in a small car? Okay, drive northwest from New York and keep going. Oh God, they're cute. Okay, the last little bit we've got is talking about, and I'm going to put the same thing, put the picture in the on my blog, and you'll see it in the video, etc. So hopefully you've seen it by now. So the human brain. The hemispheres are joined by a large nerve tract called the corpus callosum. After the age of 3, the hemispheres become highly specialized. Although an infant with only one hemisphere can develop normally, so both halves contain the potential of the other. It's interesting. Right hemisphere controls left side of body, uses pictures, metaphors, relies on instincts, concerned with relationships, no sense of time, well orientated in space. Okay, that's the right hemisphere. Okay, I'll read that again. Controls left side of body, uses pictures, uses metaphors, relies on instincts, concerned with relationships, no sense of time, and well orientated in space. Next one, left hemisphere. Controls right side of body, uses words, uses symbols, relies on facts, concerned with consequences, aware of time, and disorientated in space. So the left hemisphere controls right side of body, uses words, uses symbols, relies on facts, concerned with consequences, aware of time, and disorientated in space. Wow. Okay, a third dimension of the brain. Recent research has revealed some of the ways in which the two hemispheres of the brain process information differently. One brain can be working on two contradictory conclusions. When we manage to integrate the thinking of the two hemispheres fully and without bias, a third creative solution can emerge. Perhaps the left hemisphere says no, the idea of eternal life isn't logical. The right says yes, I can comprehend the concept of a timeless diffuse eternity. These views integrate without bias, could produce a totally new angle on things. We might say neither yes or nor no, but po. There is a different kind of creative spiritual logic in all of this mystery. Okay, so that was last week's video that we talked about. Every pair of polar opposites can be integrated to create a third dimension. For example, the third alternative to winning or losing is optimizing. The phenomenon of conversion. Under stress, many people return to their original religious background or turn strongly against it. When a total conversion takes place, the non-believer suddenly converts to a spiritual view, or the believer suddenly converts to an entirely material and empirical view of life. Temperament affects the way a conversion experience takes place. To access your temperament, refer to, that was way back, page 14 and 15. How to perceive yourself. Okay, conversion is not a synthesis. It is possible that an entirely new viewpoint may emerge when the different thought process going on in the two hemispheres of the brain integrate, with neither taking precedence over the other. This is not a conversion experience, but a total new realization, enlightenment, or inspiration. Normally, the lengthy process leading to this is quite unconscious. Many people have found a solution or a new idea, as if from nowhere, after a period of thinking about something quite different. The footnote is, so who do you think you were? On this page, a fairly left-brain view of the way the brain functions has been outlined. However, it should be remembered that spirituality infers the presence of something other than biology, something called a soul. Can the brain think without a soul? Or does the soul offer yet another mode of thought? The mystery deepens. Okay, next week we go on to section 2, matters of life and death. Okay. Wow, that's been quite a lengthy one, hasn't it? With the reading at the beginning and quite a bit of aspects going on there. Okay, thank you for being with me on this journey of discovering who were you. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed the messages from my new deck, my new cards, my new oracle cards, and the playing cards as well. With the dusk, with I feel like someone's watching over you. And then we've got the 6 of diamonds, 10 of diamonds, and 6 of hearts with the playing cards. And I feel it was about contracts, about paperwork, remembering to check the details. So important when you're dealing with contracts and things like that, or with paperwork, or you're editing something. Could be about writing a book. Make sure you've checked all your details if you're doing that. If you're writing a blog or stuff, try and go through and try and check. I do try and check, make sure I haven't made mistakes. Might be spelling differences with the with my New Zealand English and American or British, so just remember that there might be some spelling differences. So I do try and check my spelling, but make sure that once you've checked all your details, it will bring success, and there may be some good news coming through. So always, maybe it might be a time for you, or maybe you've been feeling like you're avoiding contact, commitments, and it's time for you to look at that and understand why you're avoiding that commitment, and maybe finding a way to get around it so that you do bring in success, and you do bring in maybe harmony of friendships. Maybe you have been not committed to a friendship in some way, so you might need to sort that out as well. That's another aspect coming through as well. So take care and blessed be. Thank you very much for joining my channel. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate the community. We had a most amazing tarathon, which was beautifully brought together by a range of people. Yes, there were hiccups, there were understandably a YouTube thing. It was totally out of everybody's control, and I think everyone handled it beautifully. Everyone did really well with it. I just thought it was an amazing weekend of amazing wealth of information, which I'm still going to go back and re-look at. I was very exhausted and did fall asleep, but it seemed to be right between that gap, so I was quite lucky. I actually really didn't miss out on anybody, which I was so pleased about. So I was just rapt to be able to go back and listen to those people, and just so much wealth of information. And by the time I got to the end of it, my brain was like mush, really. For me, it was 9 p.m. Sunday night, basically, to 9 p.m. Monday night. So, and I'd already been up since pretty early Sunday morning, so, it was quite a long day for me, really, overall. So I was pleased to have a bit of a snooze in between when the crash happened. But I think everybody did a fantastic job trying to find solutions for it all, and was amazing. And the wealth of information. We are so lucky as a tarot community to have a wealth of people who allow their time freely to share the information that they give. And very lucky to be able to learn so much from different perspectives, learn different spreads, learn different thoughts, different opinions. I just think it was just amazing, and I just had a fantastic time and enjoyed the whole process. And I know that there were many people that were stressed about the whole situation, and I thought they actually handled the whole thing fantastic. I've got so much praise for. I just want to cry. I just had such a fantastic time. I just was so grateful to everybody who really put in the effort, and I just think the whole thing was amazing. I'm just so rapt. So I'm going to leave it at that, and take care, blessed be, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, rest of your week, and I'll see you again next Wednesday with Wednesday Healing as we move on to Chapter 2. Take care, blessed be.